Ryan Garcia says that Gervonta Davis ex-foe Isaac Pitbull Cruz is ducking him. Find out more in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Ryan Garcia posted a series of text, also on Instagram. This is what he said. Very frustrated. I'm trying to get this fight done, and I see an interview of Isaac Cruz's manager making excuse after excuse after excuse. There's a way they simply don't want to do it. I tried to give you guys the fight you wanted. It's not in my hands anymore. Woof, woof. And then he tagged Isaac Pitbull Cruz. I couldn't be more honest with all who follow me. I'm sorry. I tried so hard. Isaac Cruz can't handle his own ish. If he wanted this fight, he'd do whatever he could, and he would do whatever he could do. Remember, our managers and promoters work for us at the end of the day. No talent, no event. Great news is, even if it doesn't get this right, even if he doesn't get this right, then I'll find a fight July 16th in LA. Sorry, I can't have heart for two people. Then he tagged Isaac Cruz. Next, he posted the interview with Sean Gibbons. Now, Sean Gibbons, I watched the interview actually way before Ryan Garcia went on this rant, and I'll link in the description so you guys can watch it and let me know what you guys think in the description. Isaac Pitbull Cruz is manager. He was real calm. He's also worked with Manny Pacquiao. Currently, that's who Isaac Cruz is signed with, Manny Pacquiao Promotions. The president is Sean Gibbons. Now, in the interview, he didn't really say anything wrong. He says Ryan has a date for July, and Pitbull Cruz, we're already looking at August. He also might get a rematch with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is fighting at the end of this month, as you guys know, blockbuster fight with Rolly, and they've already sold 30,000 tickets. So the manager, Sean Gibbons, is saying, hey, there's a lot, in limbo. We got to see, we got to make it make sense. Maybe they can fight after that. We just got to run the numbers and, make the business make sense. Ryan Garcia has taken this and decided to run with it. Like, my thing is this. Golden Boy Promotions particularly, they have a lot of fights that fall apart for whatever reason, and then it's just finger pointing, and it's the blame game. Me, I don't really even care. Either you make the fight or you don't. Like Top Rank, they've made some real good fights. Artur Beterbiev versus Joe Smith Jr. That's a great fight, light heavyweight. We just seen Canelo lose in upset fashion to Bivol. Bivol's checking out the winner. Beterbiev, Joe Smith Jr., 2 knockout artists. Great fight. Shout out to Top Rank. Also, Top Rank has Devin Haney, George Kambosos. Fight I've been wanting to see, undisputed. Tomorrow, Showtime has Jermell Charlo versus Castano with Boots Ennis, who I'm high up on and I've been wanting to see. That's an undisputed fight. Previous to that, they had Errol Spence. At the end of the month, they got Gervonta Davis and Rolly. Another fight that's a great fight and big fight. 2 power punchers, knockout artists, etc., etc. So, and also Luis Ortiz versus Andy Ruiz on PBC. So I could do this all day. The point I'm making is Golden Boy keeps coming up with these fights, and a lot of them are Ryan Garcia fights, to be honest. And for some reason, they don't happen, for whatever reason. And it's like, you guys can sit in the comment section and play the blame game. None of that really matters. At the end of the day, who is Ryan Garcia fighting? Because he said he was going to fight Gervonta Davis. Then he pulls out of that and says, oh, I'm fighting Manny Pacquiao. Then Manny Pacquiao fight didn't happen for whatever reason. He said he was fighting Javier Fortuna. That fight didn't happen. He said he was willing to fight Devin Haney. That fight didn't happen. Oscar De La Hoya did an Instagram live, and he was like, who is Devin Haney? Who in here knows who Devin Haney? He needs to be promoted better. And these are the things that Golden Boy's Oscar De La Hoya was saying. Ryan didn't fight Devin Haney. Ryan talked about Teofimo, didn't fight him, and so on and so forth. Joseph Jojo Diaz Jr. So now it's just, I'm beyond the point of even caring. Let's just wait and see who Ryan Garcia announces as his next foe. But so far, it's not looking good because this seems to be problematic, right? And you're seeing Eddie Hearn and Oscar De La Hoya, they're doing this a lot. Eddie Hearn keeps telling you, oh, I want to make a fight with Dillian White and Deontay Wilder, Dillian White, and Luis Ortiz. Dillian White, I want him to fight against Andy Ruiz Jr. And none of those fights have manifested. He's also talked about Joshua AJ fighting Luis Ortiz. None of it's happened, right? Zero, zilch, zip. Same thing with Ryan Garcia. So you're seeing that promoters in this new market, which is not good, you have some promoters who just keep talking about what they want to do. Like Golden Boy says, oh, I want to make Virgil Ortiz versus Errol Spence. It'll sell out Texas. The fight doesn't ever come, right? Eddie Hearn saying, oh, I want Conor Benn to fight Keith Thurman, Adrian Broner, Danny Garcia, yada, yada, yada. I want him to fight Amir Khan, Kell Brook. They just retired in the last 2 weeks, Kell Brook and Amir Khan. So the point I'm making is very simple. Let's cut to the chase. Boxing and anything in life is about what you can produce. Either you can get the fight done or you can't get the fight done. Ryan Garcia, this is a pattern. There's 18 different names that I've just mentioned that he says he'll fight and it doesn't happen. So you guys can blame Sean Gibbons or Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Another angle to this is the fact that PBC and Showtime tried to work together with Golden Boy to make a Jermell Charlo versus Jaime Munguia fight. They also tried to work, ask Leonard Ellerby if you don't believe it, they try to work with Golden Boy to make a Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis, which a lot of people know is going to be big business if and when the fight happens. However, in the 11th hour with Munguia had agreed, his people were on board, Charlo was on board, De La Hoya springs this, and I've made several videos about this, springs this info, says, oh, we can't push forth with the fight unless DAZN's involved in the pay-per-view. Bro, they just said Canelo Bivol did 133,000. I made a video about that as well on linear TV, right? It wasn't well promoted. Why would Showtime need to work with DAZN when they have a better infrastructure with pay-per-view? They've been around longer. They're an American broadcaster, owned and parent company is CBS. And at the end of the day, they're responsible for the 2 record-breaking, jet-setting, along with others, pay-per-views that broke all gates. And that's Mayweather versus Pacquiao. They had a hand in that. And then Mayweather versus Conor McGregor, the number 2 highest grossing boxing fight ever. They had a hand in that. Not to mention Floyd versus, Canelo or whoever else he fought, Maidana, and these other fights that did crazy live gates. So why would De La Hoya hold up the fight and not send Munguia, who wanted the fight, etc.? So, at the end of the day, it's going to hurt Golden Boy because, I don't know how many people are going to keep turning out to see Ryan Garcia fight the tag toes and toe tags and Emmanuel Togos of the world when there's all these other competitions. So the bottom line is they got to get it done. Like at the end of the day, I just listed great fights from Top Rank and PBC. Where's Golden Boy's top fight? They lost Canelo. Ryan Garcia just fought Tago and it wasn't even a good performance. Virgil Ortiz pulled out of his fight because he was ill and couldn't make weight. You had Jaime Munguia just fought Demetrius Ballard and he fainted after the weigh-in. So, Golden Boy really has to get with the program. They just had a card on yesterday. How many of you guys watched it, right? So they got to get into the mix. Zurdo Ramirez is fighting, but there's a much bigger fight on this weekend. UFC's on this weekend, but for boxing, there's a big fight on with Charlo and Castano. The first fight was crazy. And Zurdo, I don't even know who he's fighting. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's looking bad. Golden Boy is going to have to produce. DAZN is going to have to produce. Where's Joseph Jojo Diaz? Why can't Ryan Garcia fight him? Let's just pretend for a minute that Isaac Pitbull Cruz is scared, which I don't believe at all. But let's look how he fought Gamboa. Look how, just conventional wisdom. Ryan's putting it on thick. He's ranting. Look at how Pitbull Cruz looked versus his last 2 fights, Gervonta Davis, and then also how Gervonta Davis, former foe, how he looked versus Gamboa, how Devin Haney looked versus Gamboa, and then when Pitbull Cruz styles make fights, the way he fought Gamboa. So you look at Isaac Pitbull Cruz, his last 2 fights, and he's looked better in his last 2 fights than Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia just fought a scared African dude who was moving around and in survival mode. Gamboa too was in survival mode, but it was because Pitbull Cruz was rushing him. So, people are going to play the blame game and pick sides and all that, whatever. But I don't believe that Eastside Pitbull Cruz is the holdup, or he's scared, or he's ducking. I mean, just look at him. Look at their last 2 performances. Ryan got dropped by Luke Campbell. Pitbull Cruz, whatever you want to say about him, versus Tank and Gamboa, he looked like he comes to fight. You know what I mean? So I doubt he would be scared of Ryan Garcia, who didn't even really look sensational in his last fight. But Ryan, he ranted. Let me know who you believe. It seems to be a pattern with Golden Boy and Ryan Garcia. Checkmate, I'm out. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.